Okay.
Francine, thank you so much for agreeing to do the interview, and I really love, oh my goodness, your these last two. Well, we were just talking about which one to have, and this the screenshot behind me. This one is beautiful as well. So
Yeah.
so you've got a few of these new ones on your new shop, Redbubble. Is it through Redbubble? Is that that's the platform?
Redbubble, Bubble, like a bubble.
Redbubble. Yeah, and well, yeah, we've chatted, and you even did a vocal coaching session with me over lockdown, which was good fun. But
That's
you're
right. I did.
you're
I
really
can't wait to
excited.
do more.
I know how excited you are about the shop that you just started. But just before we do that, what's happening here? I love this. I move out of the way. In my high tech, my high tech, all my high techniques. But the last week I just pushed the camera up, and I'm just saying that's how that's how it happens. So
Yeah, no problem.
yeah,
So,
that's
um,
beautiful. Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful.
I actually love this one. This is one of my favorite ones that I've ever done, and that's my eye. And what I did was, I think this was during the lockdowns, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just like, trying to fill my days. I won't say sheer boredom, but basically trying to fill my days. And what I do a lot inevitably when I go outside, I end up taking a ton of pictures of just whatever. And this one particular day, I was taking pictures of a bunch of flower bushes and rose bushes around where I lived, and individual flowers. And so this is the product of that. It's just one of the pictures of flowers that I took, and I took a picture of my eye and I put them together, and it looked really good. And
It
I was like,
does.
oh, awesome.
It does. It looks gorgeous. I kind of like the fact that it's got it just seems well, this is, I know it's like the in the eye, I know, excuse the pun, the eye of the beholder, but it encapsulates a few kind of what it brings. I know it's all about, yeah, what I just said, the eye of the beholder, but for me it reminds me of a little bit of Bond, James Bond.
Does it
To say
really?
what's going up, and also there's a kind of neon, there's a like a screen printing vibe going on, like a Warholy vibe, just that kind of. But that's just what comes up for me. I mean, you might have just thought. So what does go through your mind? Do you like conceptualize something and put it together, or you just really just play around and just does it come through feel, or do you think? No, I want to represent this theme, or this is what I'm thinking at the moment. I want to represent that.
It's with me, it's really just playing around. Now, I do that. I think, okay, I want to put this together. Like, I'll have a picture in my head, and then it completely comes out to be something absolutely different that is so much better than what I was thinking. It always, I'm not kidding. Usually always. And so, yeah, like with this one, with the eye and the flower, I didn't have any particular idea in mind. I was just putting things together, and I just
Uh-huh.
really liked the way that it looked. I think that's interesting that you think it's James Bondish in a
Well, I
way.
mean, only
I
that's
never
just the
thought of that.
first thing that came to. I'm just lit.
Yeah, but
That's.
that's awesome. I love James Bond. That wasn't what I was going for at all. You're talking about like a graphic maybe that you'd see in the beginning of one of the movies when you
Yeah,
say
but I
that.
think it's like a fusion of the. To me, I mean, I'm just really just saying exactly what the first thing that comes into my mind, in case you haven't noticed. So there's no,
No,
but I love that there's something about it is quite kind of has that iconic kind of quality. But yeah, but I love that you just said about that. That's the playing. The play is important for you. But I also noticed we did the one that we didn't use. So if can it be? Is it like? Do you love using flowers? I mean, what's that really famous? There's a really famous, someone called Giorgio O'Keeffe. Have you heard of
Georgia
her?
O'Keeffe, yeah, I've heard
Yeah.
of her.
So, I mean,
She's an
is it,
artist. Yeah.
yeah. So it's like, I just remember a lot of flowers she's known for, like really bright. She does quite a lot of bright flowers is that kind of, where do you get your inspiration from? I said, I know you were playing, but what are your influences? Who are the people that you love that you think maybe not consciously when you're doing it, but or maybe consciously, I don't know. But who's been in your backdrop even when you're playing? So before you bring it to the conscious.
Nobody. This is what I can say. I mean, honestly, if you're asking like which artists sort of inspire me and things like that,
Yeah, or that you
I
just really
couldn't.
love.
Well, Duran. I mean, I will say that. I mean,
Do you like?
they've been a part of my life and my existence and everything that's great and
So,
holy to me since I was 14 years old. So they're definitely ingrained in, I'm going to say in my blood. And
what about their
so,
visuals?
so I'm also on an online art gallery called Plogix.
Or
And
what?
in my bio there, I put there's a little Duran in everything I do, and I think that that's true. And even if I'm not aware of it, like you said, I think just their influence and what they've done artistically, and maybe through their videos and things like that, and it just comes through because I've always been saturated with it with my whole life.
And there's
So I
such
think
a yeah.
Duran is the first inspiration I could think of.
They're
My
such a
main
visual
inspiration.
band. So for you to say that, it's not a surprise. I mean, I know how much you're really into them, but from a visual point of view, it's not a surprise either because they are, well, they're both, Nick is a photographer as well, and he also is very heavily involved in the lighting and transpires. I wasn't aware until the Ibiza shows that we did that John is an artist as well, and so it's not a surprise that they are so visual. And also the other thing I think why this reminds me, I mean, I know I love that visual because I was thinking more the placing of it. So I was just curious if there was a kind of deliberate 80s graphics that was conscious that was happening, but so it's just really whether that was picking up, but maybe, but not necessarily. But you say the Duran thing, so there will be, even though the other thing about them is that they go through, they're not, you wouldn't just hone them into one decade of time. But
Right.
I've lost my train of thought now. What do I want to ask you about that? But yeah, I just want to get a sense of you say playing, so but I'll probably come back to that because I can't remember what I was going to say then. But when you do more like the themes, you said it can be both. So what if you were going to think about if you're going to give an example of one where it was something that was on your mind that you thought, oh, how do I represent that? What was one? Would there be one on that we could see on your Instagram?
That I was trying to represent a particular thing.
Or that you were trying to, or a mood, or you were trying to.
Yeah, I sort of just, like I said, I take a ton of pictures and I'm interested in artwork. And I discovered when I started using social media, because I actually wouldn't have called myself a very actively, creatively artistic person at all before I started using social media. I mean, I can't draw. I'm not good at drawing, I'll say. And that's not self-deprecating. I'm just not good at drawing. I mean, there's some people who can draw just amazing pictures just with their hand, and I'm always astounded at that. And I'm not one of those. I'm like a a rusty stick figure person at best. But I've always had a thing for words, language. I think I'm good at writing. I've always loved poetry. Art, when I started using social media, I discovered all these apps. I just had an idea in my head. Actually, I created a picture. Okay. I created a picture of Simon once, an abstract picture. And you wouldn't have been able to tell that it was based off of a picture of Simon when it was finished. But I found a picture of him or came across a picture of him where he was wearing sunglasses. And I think there was something about the picture, the reflection in the sunglasses or the sun or something. And I was like, I could make something cool and different out of that. So I started looking for apps and I found one that looked like it could do that. And I used it and I created this completely abstract picture that was really cool, I thought. And it was just nothing in particular, just an interesting, abstract, pleasing thing to look at based off of a picture of his sunglasses.
Okay.
So that's something that I could say I was aiming to do, and I did, but I didn't know what was going to come out of it. And honestly, I don't know where that picture is today.
All right, so I'm gonna.
It's so horrible. I'm not organized. I'm not an organized person. and all of this. So
Well, yeah, you don't have to always be honest. I'm sharing the screen, so yeah, because they're beautifully colourful as well. A lot
yes.
of them. This one's fantastic. So what was going on here?
So that I was actually I was actually thinking of Nick Rhodes.
Oh,
I was
okay. I can see a general Duran theme here.
I, I was on my lunch break at work, and I decided I wanted to just sort of put something together. And the mouth open with the tongue is supposed to represent sensuality and all of this. And that was a mango that was eating the yellow part there. And, and so I took a picture of myself doing that, and then I just made something more artistic out of it. And it was supposed to be a sensual statement to Nick Rhodes. Okay, I don't know who's noticed or whatever, but and I haven't been doing it as much lately. But previously, my main social media usage was always communicating with Duran Duran as much as I could and making myself as visible as possible on their social media, and always spewing all of this love and sexual innuendo at Nick Rhodes. And it was and I really enjoyed doing that. And
So
so
is
this
that
is
what you feel? So is that
that.
what you feel this is?
What was that?
Is that what you feel this is? That this is an outpouring of love?
Inspired by him. Yeah, the
Ah,
open mouth.
but
The
what is it? How did you arrive with all these dots and things? Would you?
Oh, well, that's it's just it was just basically an like I said, an app that I used. I use many different apps.
All right. So do you sometimes kind of mix the apps together? Will you do some of a
Yeah,
photograph from one and then take the photograph to another one and then play around some more?
yes, there have been several whatever you want to call them, creations where I've done that. Yeah, use several different apps on one thing,
Yeah.
because I'll start working on it or whatever, start creating something, and I'll be like, okay, well, I want to do this, and so now I have to find an app that'll do that, and so yeah.
So is that what
It's very
happened with this? What was the stage like before it was this? Did you do it all on one app?
Are you asking what the picture was like?
No, I know what the picture's like because you said it's like you eating a mango. But what was the stage just before this?
Oh, the stage just before this?
Yeah.
Actually, for this one was pretty simple. I think I hate to say it. I don't want to say it because it's so easy and anybody can do it. But
No, not everyone can do this.
yes, I think well, anyways, this is honestly just it's more of just a filter than anything else.
Oh, okay. So you can add it. So you can add that on, and then that kind of comes.
Yeah, I took the picture, I added a filter. I don't remember if I tweaked the colors that much. I
Okay.
may,
All right.
but
Well, I love the apps that. Yeah, I mean yeah, I remember doing one of those visions on Sunday, and I just clicked on one of those effects. I looked like I was in one of those fairground ride, just on one of those, like a ghost town or something, or I don't know. It was just like it did all sorts of things. So they can do really cool, fun things. But I still think it's a wonderful how you've treated it, and then maybe how you've enhanced the colors or something. It looks brilliant. Let's have a couple, because I'm just seeing that. I mean, unless it just happens to be the recent ones, but there's quite a big flower theme. I don't know if you've noticed.
I had never aimed to do mainly a flower theme or yeah, focused on that. So actually I hadn't noticed. No. But
This is gorgeous.
yeah, the particular one that you picked was really simple to do. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Don't worry. How about this one?
Yeah, some of it is more involved, and some of it is actually really just very easy. So this one, I guess I'll say this one was maybe a little more involved. So basically, this was at a bus stop, or a train stop, basically a train station by where I used to live that I used to take the train to work. And when I got there one morning, I noticed there was a wine bottle on the bench. And I think there's a flower on the top too. And it was just
Yeah.
like, I was like, oh, that's artistic and poetic. And so I took a picture of it, which is what you see there. And then that wasn't a filter. So this one is, I don't remember. I may have melded two pictures together for this one. The background might be a different picture than what was actually there. And then just using different apps to sort of make the shadow more accentuated, as you can see, to make it look more artistic. Basically, that's it.
Ah, I mean, well, you say that's it, like it's an easy peasy thing to do. But as I said to you before we started the interview, if I had those whatever the apps are, I'll just come off this for a second. If I had it, whatever those apps for it, I mean, sometimes it is really good fun to play. I mean, I remember doing something when I was doing my first video, and I liked how you can start with a representational, just an accurate image, and you can just make it more and more abstract and just play and come up with something. But it's still you doing it, and lots of people just wouldn't come up with the end result. So what is it that you're so you
said that perspective, as I told you the other day, because I'd never thought about that before. I mean, I guess if you don't mind my saying, you did mention that you thought I do myself a disservice in some way or something, and I think I do too. But anyways, not touching on that too much, because I'm able to do these things, and it's not that difficult for me. I assume, kind of be that way for everybody else too. But I guess it's not the case. Everybody's different.
Yeah, and I'm sure, don't want to, but I don't think it is the case. I think if you have a flair for something, if talent something, but you said it's not what you usually do. So what do you do? You said you work in video, Francine.
Work in video as a job?
Yeah, you said something about video.
Video.
Oh, you don't? You don't? Yeah, you said something, because I'm working in video. So is that not what so do you work in the arts, Francine?
I don't. I would love to. I work at a grocery store, and
oh, that's lovely. I mean, sometimes I wish I mean, it just
very glamorous.
Well, that's reliable. I mean, I absolutely love my job, but I also think it just there's something, especially over lockdown. Over lockdown, it was the main community that I saw.
No, and I'm not gonna put my job down or anything like that, but I think I would be much more fulfilled in something of a creative nature as far as work goes. And I had mentioned to you that I do want to look for something like that. My biggest, one of my biggest downfalls is procrastination. I'm a big procrastinator, and I'm not always great at self-motivation. I mean, I could just stay stuck on my phone all day on social media. Seriously.
Okay.
And it's have you ever seen the documentary The Social Dilemma?
I don't know.
It's basically about social media and how it's becoming the breakdown of society and how it's deteriorating society.
That little that little point
in it, actually. It's easy to just get sucked into it and kind of so unfortunately a lot of my off time kind of gets I would just say wasted, but maybe wasted with that, but it's not a complete waste. I mean, if you're communicating with people, but then it's also not that productive. I mean, there's so many other things that I'd like to do that I know I need to be doing. And so I need to work on self-motivation, self-starting, not procrastinating, being more proactive about creating certain parts of my life the way that I want them to be.
Brilliant. Well, you say that, but for someone that's procrastinating, all right, I'm going to share. Is it this? Oh, it's not that one.
When I create these pieces of art, it makes me feel very empowered. It makes me feel like, wow, I can do that, and it's something that I never knew I could do until I started using, like I said, social media more, and then exploring other parts of the internet more.
All right.
And
So you say you haven't been productive, and yet you've going to show what you have
well, I
sorted
finally did it.
out.
I
Look,
finally
so
did
this
this.
is the procrastinator. The procrastinator has got
Can I
a
tell you how long I was
amazing
thinking
shop.
of doing? Can I tell you how long I was thinking of doing a Redbubble store before I actually did it? Probably a year or two. I was like, I have to get my stuff on Redbubble. I have to get my stuff on Redbubble. And I never did it. And then
Well,
I
you
finally
did. Here you are, and even you've done it. And look, it's just brilliant. I love it.
it's not hard.
It is.
So I got 3 of my designs up. I have yet to have one sale. I do not have one sale yet.
Okay, that's not where I want to go. Why did I go there? This isn't your stuff. Let's go back to where we were.
Oh.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna have to go back in. Oh, that's right. So we're here. So, oh, look at all these options you've got. So do I just click on, how do I navigate this?
On view shop, I think it says view shop beneath the picture, or view other products. Let me see if I
Okay,
can.
it says 4 results. So shall I just click on this result, for example?
Yeah,
So we've got that. But I remember when I clicked on this before, I saw loads of other things, not just this.
right.
I saw like bedspreads and, oh, here they are.
Right. There's some other things.
Look at all this stuff. So you've got phone cases.
Page. Sorry, if you go back to the other page that you were just on, below that graphic picture, you'll see
Where's it gone again?
It says shop all products. And if you click on that, I believe it'll take you to the whole store. Yeah, see right there, shop on products below the picture. Right here. Can you see where I'm pointing?
There, shop all products, right, yeah.
And then it takes you to all of the products that
Look at this. Isn't this amazing? That Redbubble. So I keep calling Redbubble. So what happens? Do you send your design and then just click on the just tell us what happens with Redbubble. How does it work?
So basically you choose the designs of yours that you want to share. They have all of these products that you can apply them to, like a pet bandana or leggings or a laptop sleeve, phone cases, everything that you see here, puzzles, clocks. They have all kinds of
So what do you do? Do you just literally just click? Do you just literally upload it onto the template?
Yes, it'll give you the choice of the products that you want to add your design to. You don't have to add it to everything. It's all up to you what you want to add it to.
Right. So is the picture of the bed, for example, already like that?
Yes. Everything that you see here, the layouts of how they're presenting the products,
right,
is Redbubble. The only thing that I did is add my designs to whatever I wanted to try to sell with my design on it.
Yeah. But you upload the design to the actual. It's just a template. So if you went into it, it'd be a blank template, and then you just click on your design, and it will add it to the image.
Exactly. Well, you choose the design, you upload the design that you want to share, and then it'll give you the choices like tapestry, canvas mounted print. And then if you wanted to put your design on those, you just choose those. And after you've chosen everything you want to apply your design to, you press save, I think, or finish.
And then it just presents it all.
Yeah. So I think a lot of these products are, some of them, okay, so I noticed the pricing is a bit high for some of the things. I was like, wow, would I spend that much on, whatever? And in some cases, I may not. But I also discovered the other day that I can either raise or lower my prices as I want to. So when did I put this up? I have to go back and look at my Instagram. If you go back to my Instagram, you'll be able to see my last post. That date was the day that I put together my Redbubble shop. So
okay, so I can do that. Yeah.
I haven't had any sales, and I'm like, I think a lot of my stuff is good. I mean, I think I can see somebody buying that phone case. I can see somebody buying that tote bag. I would buy it. And so, I mean, these are functional items. Masks. People are still using masks to a great extent. There's
Look
all
at all
kinds of stuff
these. So when you
for-
say you procrastinated, but you presumably had to choose, had to make a decision about what you wanted. What was it? Did you think the process of doing it would be? Was it a difficult process when you got round to it? Did you find it a difficult process?
to choose what I wanted to put them on.
To actually, well, one, to make the choice. I'm sure there would be, and I'd be curious to know what your criteria for that was. But to actually get the stuff onto here, did you, once you decided what you wanted to do?
No, that part wasn't difficult. The hardest part for me was sort of deciding which items of theirs I wanted to put my designs on. And that's why I kind of just put it on everything, because I'm not good at decision making really. And so I kind of just put it on everything just to make it easy. But I think I could go back in and maybe streamline a little bit more, like, oh, I think that might sell better. I can take this one off, because you don't like, since like just if I decided I didn't want to sell the pet bandana with my eye on it, I could click that so it's no longer available for sale. So you can adjust, you can play around with it. You can adjust pricing, which I've done. I've recently drastically lowered prices to see if it'll help get some sales. I mean, I'd like to make a profit off of some of the stuff that I've done here, but really the more exciting thing to me would be for people just to have it, like to have something that I created.
To
I
get
would
out.
love.
When you say you'd love to make a profit, what is the situation with it? How much do they
As far
take?
as the profits go, what you make with what they charge.
Yeah.
So I just looked at it the other day, because I didn't even look at that part. I'm
All
more
right.
concerned with the
Just getting
artistic
out.
aspect. But I
Yeah.
just looked at it the other day, and basically, if you're selling a backpack for whatever they were charging for it, like 40 something dollars, my margin, which is what I would have made off of it, I believe, is what margin means. I watch a little bit of Shark Tank, so I'm trying to I'm trying to learn those terms. But I believe what I would have made off of a $40 sale in a backpack was maybe just a little under $3. So it's
Oh,
not that much.
okay.
But it's a way, yeah, when I was thinking of using Redbubble, to me, I wasn't thinking, well, how much can I make? I was thinking, well,
No.
this is a way to hopefully try to get some of my stuff out there into people's hands. And
Right. So
so
yeah.
now, since I've drastically reduced prices, I'm making actually even less than a little under $3 if I
Okay.
sell
So I
anything.
guess that's something.
But
Right.
then
So that's
when I
something to keep
sell it,
an
so
eye
I'm
on.
definitely not going to get this off of it.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Right, so that's definitely something to keep an eye on. But what you're saying is right at the beginning, that what's important is to get your stuff out there. And often when you're trying to do that, at least this way, these are things that people can actually buy, and so you can start getting your designs out there, and you are getting a little bit of money for that. So in a way, it's almost like advertising. If there's quite minimal profit at the beginning, unless, but having said that, I don't know what the reach of that particular site is. Maybe it's massive, so maybe it could conceivably it start adding up to quite a bit more. But they look gorgeous, and I love that premise. As long as you don't, presumably in that sense, well, I see that you've chosen 4 designs, right? So you haven't chosen more than that. Perhaps that's a wise thing.
Just 3 designs actually
3
so
designs.
far.
Right, so that's a wise thing, I think, because then it means that, especially if the profit margins are quite low, it means you've still got lots of your own other designs that you can that aren't on there. So you've chosen 3, so that's quite good advertising. But it means there's scope for you to do all sorts of things with the other designs, and you're not giving your designs away for not that much money, because that's not what the point of this is, as you said. But just think it's wise. I don't know if it was deliberate, but just it's good that I think that you haven't put like 20 of your own designs up there, and then they're all going for like giving you like some more profit. That's the profit head on me.
Maybe more, but I'm glad you said that, because now maybe I won't. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'd heard of Redbubble, and so I thought of it as maybe sort of well known. Not so much well known, but I'd heard of it. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm sure other people have heard of it too. As far as their reach and how well known it is, I have no idea. How can you find that out? Like, I guess you
Right.
can research the company. all of
Yeah,
this
if you
stuff
want
that
me,
I never took
well,
to
no, I mean, if you, no, if you, the thing is that you said you wanted to get it up there and you've got your ideas up there. What are you working on at the moment, Francine? What are you doing? Are you doing so? Are you doing something every day? Are you, when you're noodling and you do like disappear down the social media rabbit hole, do you still manage to get something going most days, or does it happen just, like once a
As
month?
far
Or
as artistic creation, I do not know. It happens when the inspiration strikes me,
all right.
basically. When I mean, I see something or I take a picture that I think is going to be, good to apply something artistic to, or I just get, for some reason, my creative juices get flowing a little more on that day than other days, and then I'll do something. But as far as a deliberate, focused, concentrated,
Yeah, doesn't.
disciplined
Well,
no,
yeah. I
I
just
don't.
want. Also,
And
you've got other things going on because you said you working as well, and so it's. But the result anyway is just so that it's so imaginative. I know you saying, oh yeah, I use this up on a black whatever app snap. The actual works that you're doing, they're just wonderful. They're really vibrant. It's not just because they're bright. There's just a lot of energy, and I know that you put your heart and soul into all those emojis, and I know they're eye catching and all that kind of stuff. But what I get is the spirit of you coming through loud and clear, which is like just really a lot of energy that pours out into all of this creative stuff, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to experience, whether it's your emojis or whether it's your digital art. It's just really wonderful. It's just really
yes, it's not
inspiring.
down in my emojis. When you just said my emojis, I was like, oh yeah, right now I am known for that, and
Who
I
else
like
does
that.
that? I mean, it's wonderful. It's just not something that. So
Starting
do you like? Are
expressing.
you like an avid like? Do you like, if you're not doing art and stuff? Do you like? Are you reading all the time or watching? When you're not doing Duran, we know about the Duran side. So you're like, will you be an avid reader? And are you like really into film? Are you like are you into quite a lot of different creative, disciplines and stuff?
When you say into film, do you mean
Well,
what do you
I'm
mean
just
when
right.
you
Well, you said that particularly that you just play when you're doing creative stuff. So, but
right?
how do you kind of feed that? I said you just see something, you get inspired. But are you someone like reads a lot, or are you kind of like, do you read a lot out of interest, or do you, or what are there other creative things going on apart from these?
I was an avid reader when I was younger, and I don't read as much as I used to. I love to watch movies. When you said film, that's one of my favorite pastimes.
All right. So what kind of
Cinema.
stuff? Yeah, what kind of stuff? Is there like a particular genre of film that you're really into that you kind of will
I
like binge watch?
usually lean towards horror films, and maybe like psychological thrillers, kind of a thing. Things that sort of get your adrenaline going, that make you think, that scare you, that frighten you, that sort of push the envelope. I like films like that.
Right. Okay. Like, what can you name? Can
I
you
like
name like a
intensity.
right? Right. Well, that's again that's showing in your digital photography. But
Mhm.
can you name like one that's quite recent that you'd say, oh, go watch that? Because I mean I don't know how you can watch those anyway. Because I used to be able to watch them when I was like kid, but as a full grown adult, I don't seem to be able to watch them without getting really scared.
So I found, actually,
Like
I've liked
Stephen
horror films
King or
ever since I was
something,
a child.
huh?
And I've been fascinated and drawn to horror films ever since I was a child, I guess you could say. And actually, just speaking on that a little bit, since you mentioned that, and then I'll get on to the ones that I've seen. The Exorcist is still the scariest one I've ever seen in my life. And it still frightens me every time I watch it. And I don't make a point to watch it a lot, but when it happens to happen. But yeah, that was like one of those ones that I watched when I was a kid that happened to be on TV, and my mom told me not to watch it, and I didn't listen to her, and I watched it anyways, and it freaked me out, and I literally couldn't sleep for 2 weeks. And so
It, it
it's,
is.
but
It is really
lately,
scary. I was
I've
trying to.
always but actually, as an adult, I'm a little more cautious before I just run out and see a horror film. I'll usually end up seeing them still, but I'll build up to it more. And I noticed that change in myself. This is just an aside. I noticed that change in myself when, after my boyfriend passed away, I
Oh.
became a little more sensitive to things like that. And so
Mm.
I didn't rush out for them as much as I did before, but I still do watch them. Now recently, I watched one, and these aren't newer ones, but I watched one called Side Effects, which is from a few years ago. I don't remember how long ago it was. And it's
No.
basically about oh, this woman that she has depression, she goes on medication, the medication helps her, but then ends up causing her to stab her husband when she's in a trance from this medication,
All
and
right,
she
so
can
you're all right, so
and
you're hooked on this stuff. Without going on, because I know, mind you, I did ask you, but how does that? So, why? I suppose I know you mentioned Duran, and then looking at these again, there is something very cinematic about. I think there's something epic and dramatic and intense about these. These are reminding me slightly, kind of like what was it called? Was it called Psych? There's just something very vibrant and cinematic, I think, about what you're doing. Just some of these ones around.
follow because I love films, and I love, and like Duran, very very polished, I guess you could say, in how they present things, and
Look at that.
how,
These are wonderful. These
yeah,
are
so that was
wonderful.
shop window, the one with the yellow lights, that was just a shop window.
It's
I
cool.
really like that one. I think it's bright. Whenever I see the yellow, I think citrusy.
Gorgeous. You
um
have a really vivid mind. The way that you're playing what you call playing is just I think it's extraordinary. I think you just take you take it for granted because you're busy being you. When I look at them, I just find them so vibrant and inspiring and kind of intense and light. Yeah, a little bit in a ways. They've got the energy of a sci-fi thriller in a way. Not all of them, because that would just be kind of
That would
too
make sense because I love
easy.
stuff
But
like that. I don't know so much about sci-fi, but definitely thrillers.
the
Yeah.
thrillers, yeah. But there is there's certainly an adrenaline rush in most of these. But your use of lighting's it's just wonderful. Must have felt so liberating to have discovered digital photography and now know that you can do what you call playing, and you can create all of these wonderful things, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, these, I mean, the lighting, you call it the lighting and everything. And these are all just created with, as I said, apps. I mean, and just playing around with, yeah, I guess the lighting, the shading, the light and dark. And yeah, I love that one. That one. So this one, and I think, gosh, see, I can't even remember what some of these are
No,
based. That
that's
one
okay.
in
No,
the
you don't have to.
middle.
I'm flying through them because
Oh,
I'm just
that one is
noticing.
this one is just a Starbucks.
That's the best looking Starbucks I've ever seen. Why can't all Starbucks look like that?
So yeah, that was a window at a Starbucks. The longer window that you saw in between the ones that look like that one, the ones that they're on fire, and then the dreamy looking one on the right.
Which one?
Um, that one.
This one.
Yeah. That's a best window. Oh no, that one was, I can't even remember. See, I don't even remember what some of them were.
You don't have to. You've done so many. I could talk forever, but I can't because I've got. Oh, that's one. Well, you just got to talk a little bit about this. What was that?
That was just a walkway at a so some people know that I am well, I'm acquainted with recovery as far as AA, NA, that kind of stuff. And
Okay.
so there was a time in my life when I was going to Alcoholics Anonymous meetings a lot, Narcotics Anonymous meetings a lot,
Uh-huh.
and this was just a walkway and a hallway at one of those meetings. That dark at the end is the door, and then I just did something interesting with it.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, I love that one. I call it Yellow Brick Road.
It's just
Yeah.
wonderful. Francine, they're wonderful. Can I interview every week?
Oh, you're so funny.
They're just
You
gorgeous.
know, just to have be a motivation for me so I can start creating more. When you ask me if I do it like all of the time every day, I don't. And I have thought and posted, oh, I should make a practice to try to create something new every day, because even if it isn't something that I am completely thrilled about or completely passionate about or would even necessarily share, it's all progress towards, maybe getting better at it, discovering something new. And yeah,
Uh-huh. Well,
I
well
really should do
from what yeah, from what you're doing, you're still, putting it out there. There's a lot happening. So whether it's, I mean, there's not like there's a right or wrong, especially where just the result, everyone works differently. I think it's just when sometimes people can have really, really long gaps, and then it's maybe, that's what I was talking about anyway in the last live, and unless there's a significant reason, which often there is, sometimes there is, then I would personally think try and support people doing it a bit more regular. But really, it's not really for me to say. However you do what you do, keep doing it, Francine. They're really gorgeous. I'm going to have to go now. But I just really want to wish you all the very best with Redbubble, with your Redbubble shop. And I love the choice from an independent creative coach point of view. I love the choice, that the fact that you've chosen 3 specific ones and you haven't put loads of the other things up as well, because they work well and it's great to see them. So I wish you all the very best with that, and keep making these wonderful images. The imagery it's so inspiring. I just absolutely love them. That last one was just brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would have liked you to have seen some of the animated stuff. I didn't think to point that out to you that I have on some other accounts, but maybe another time.
Yes.
But also another movie that you guys should check out if you like thrillers or like just twisty movies is Old. M. Night Shyamalan. That's an older one as well. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It's called Old.
All right.
It's really good.
I'll keep that in mind, but I'm going to keep your digital photography in more at the front of my mind than that film, because this is, I find, much more inspiring than a film I haven't seen before. Although I did ask you because I was curious about other influences that are coming in. But it's really, really lovely chatting with you, Francine. And yeah. Yeah, and see you. I hope it's a shame to miss you when we're away, but I know. Keep doing what you're doing, and then we'll do something else again soon, whether it's another creator taster or whatever we do.
Definitely. Hopefully I'll see you guys in Las Vegas on Halloween. Bye.
Ah yes, do. Oh, you're coming? Oh yeah, I knew, because you said you're coming to that, right?
I have a ticket for the Halloween show, and I'm shooting to get one for the 30th as well. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I knew I wasn't just saying I'm going to see someone. Yes, you did. I think you said, didn't you? Anyway, I know now. So yeah, thanks, Francine.
It's expensive, but
all right, that's a different subject. That's not something I have control over. But anyway, we're looking forward to it, right?
Yes, for sure.
All right. Okay, Francine. Great chatting with you. Bye.
I'll see you on social.
I'll see you at the show.
Yes.
Bye.